I've got a composite function question here. We've got three functions, an f function, a g function and an h function, and we've got to find various combinations of these functions and then find the inverse of h. The thing that confuses most people about these questions is indeed the notation, fgx. What this is saying is that we're going to put x into the g box first. That produces effectively the g result, which we're then going to f, if you pardon the expression. So this second box is fx. So this is part A's arrangement. And the thing to work out is the journey of x through this sequence of events. At this point here, x will just have gone through the g box. So the g box will turn x into 2x plus 1. Now the f box on its own would expect x on its input. Here's fx. And if it gets x on its input, it will produce x squared minus 3 on its output. But we're not feeding x into its input, we're feeding 2x plus 1. So as an alternative to the formula here, you can think of this as in squared minus 3. Our problem now becomes obvious because we can say that f for part A, fg of x must be equal to the in squared, which is 2x plus 1 squared minus 3. This in fact is the answer, but they may want it in the simplest form. So we've got to expand this bracket. So we get 4x squared plus 2 underneath. If you can imagine the two brackets together, we've got a 2x and another 2x. So this is 4x and then plus 1 minus 3. And this becomes 4x squared plus 4x minus 2. Yes, I could take a common factor of 2 out, but I think this is a perfectly good and acceptable answer. Now for part B, we've been asked to find g of hx. So this means we put x into the h box first and then g the result. So coming out of the h box, we will simply get x over 2. This, remember, becomes the input to the g box. So this will be 2 times the in plus 1. So I can say that g h of x will be equal to 2 times its new in, which is x over 2, plus 1. And as you can see, that's fairly easily simplified to simply x plus 1. And that will be your answer. Now for part C, we've been asked to find the inverse function of the h box. What this means is we normally put x into the h box and get the rule out, as it were. But the situation has changed. We're going to shove x into the output, effectively, of the h box and ask the question, what's going to come out of what was the input? To do that, we bring back y and express hx in terms of y. So therefore I can say y is equal to x over 2. Now what we've got to do is we've got to make x the subject. So swapping things around, I think you can clearly see that x must equal 2y. Now because we've got our inputs and outputs swapped, we must also swap x and y round. So my new version of this expression is that y is equal to 2x. And because we've swapped x and y to x, this is equal to h to the minus 1 of x. And that is your answer.